Hey everyone, welcome back to today's Explainer. We're diving into a truly incredible story today, the journey of a 21-year-old who completely transformed his reality from the ground up. This isn't just some standard story about making money, it's an absolute masterclass in mindset and extreme resilience. We're going to explore exactly how this transformation happened. So let's just get right into it.
So, can a janitor become a billionaire? I really want you to think about that for a second and challenge your own preconceptions. Society basically trains us to believe that massive success needs a massive head start, right? Wealthy parents, elite connections, maybe a fancy degree right out of the gate. We almost never associate the person cleaning the floors with the person occupying the corner office on the top floor. But what if we've been looking at the starting line all wrong? What if the bottom is actually the perfect place to build an unbreakable foundation? There's this fantastic quote from our source material that hits the nail right on the head. Some people see a janitor, others see a future leader. It perfectly sets the stage for our subject Michael and his extraordinary transformation. Honestly, it's all a matter of perspective. When you look at someone's current circumstances, are you seeing their permanent reality, or are you just seeing a stepping stone? Section 1. The power of humble beginnings. You know, every giant skyscraper needs a deep foundation, and human potential operates on the exact same principle. Just consider the sheer discipline of Michael's daily routine. Picture this. It's way before sunrise. The world is totally asleep, but Michael is quietly mopping the high school hallways. Then the students finally arrive. Most of them ignore him, and some actually laugh at him. One kid even mocks him, asking if he's still cleaning floors. But Michael, he just smiles and says, "For now." That response is everything. He doesn't let their mockery get to him because he knows his current job title doesn't define his destination. And this brings us to a huge contrast between complacency and pure ambition. You've got Michael's best friend and fellow janitor, Kevin. Kevin's a great guy, but he represents that comfortable status quo. He brings sandwiches after work and just marvels at Michael, asking if he ever sleeps, because Michael spends all his evenings in the empty school library, relentlessly devouring computer and business books. Michael's response? He says he'll sleep after he reaches his dream of building a tech company that actually helps millions of people. Kevin is surviving his reality, while Michael is studying to escape his. Section 2. The ultimate integrity tests. Because look, a relentless work ethic is really only half the equation. Success is almost always gated by these intense tests of character. And Michael hits his first big one when he finds an incredibly expensive, lost laptop. And it's not just a nice computer, it's loaded with highly confidential business files. Now Kevin, acting as the voice of easy temptation, points out that nobody knows it's there. They could easily keep it or sell it for some quick cash, but Michael shuts that down instantly. He takes the much harder path and tracks down the owner to returning. Turns out, that laptop belonged to a retired tech expert named Professor Carter. And Carter delivers this really striking line: honest people are rare. He didn't just give Michael a quick thank you. He recognized the incredible rarity of his character. This single act of unwavering integrity didn't get him a quick cash reward. Instead, it earned Michael something infinitely more valuable: a powerful mentor. Integrity literally opened a door that money couldn't buy. But Carter didn't just hand him a winning lottery ticket. No way. He put Michael through this absolute gauntlet of a mentorship routine. First, learning programming completely from scratch. Second, actually building simple software to put those skills to use. Third, devouring business books to understand the actual market. And fourth, relentlessly solving complex coding challenges. Carter instilled a crucial lesson here. Knowledge creates opportunities, for sure, but discipline is what turns those opportunities into actual success. So his skills are getting sharp, right? But then comes test number 2, and it is arguably way harder. Enter Mr. Brooks, a wealthy businessman who dangles this massively lucrative investment contract in front of Michael for his software. The catch? Brooks wants to secretly steal users' data to maximize their profits. Michael's basically staring at a shortcut to the exact riches he's been dreaming of. But without missing a beat, he closes the contract. He says he'd rather stay poor than get rich by hurting others. He passed the ultimate test, refusing to sell out his ethics.
Section 3. Turning failure into trust. Since he turned Brooks down, Michael had to do things the hard way, eventually bootstrapping his own company out of a tiny apartment. But launching is just day one. Look at this number, 5. That is the total number of downloads Michael's first productivity app received when it launched. Just 5. And the funniest part about this is that his friend Kevin downloaded it 4 times just to make Michael feel better. It's such a beautifully humble start, and it really proves that the whole overnight success thing is a total myth. Eventually, though, through sheer grit, the user base actually starts to grow. But then, total disaster strikes. A massive software bug crashes the entire app. Thousands of users are absolutely furious, complaining everywhere. Michael's new employees are in full panic mode, screaming that the company is completely finished before it even really took off. The pressure here is absolutely immense. And this is where you see what a true leader looks like under fire. While everyone else was writing the company's obituary, Michael remained completely calm. He looks at his panicking team and says, "No, today we'll earn something more valuable than money." He chose to view this horrific disaster not as the end of the road, but as a crucible, a chance to build the ultimate business asset, unwavering customer trust. So what does he actually do? Extreme, radical accountability. Michael publicly apologizes to his users. He doesn't hide behind some corporate PR spin. He completely owns the failure, and his team works tirelessly to fix every single bug. And the result? Customers were absolutely blown away by his transparency. The crisis actually became a catalyst. The deep appreciation for his honesty caused his app's downloads to completely skyrocket. Let's just take a breath and look at this timeline for a second to really appreciate the scale of this journey. Starting out mopping floors in the pitch dark before sunrise, exhausting himself studying late at the library, making that pivotal, ethical choice to return a lost laptop. And years later, making magazine headlines as a billionaire CEO heading one of the world's biggest technology businesses. It is just a stunning example of compound effort and unwavering character.
Section 4. Building a lasting legacy.
Because achieving immense wealth is one thing, but the true measure of a person is what they do after they've won the game. When a reporter inevitably asked the billionaire CEO what changed his life, Michael's response was profound. He said, "I never cleaned floors because I had no dream. I cleaned floors while chasing one." This just proves his mindset was already billionaire tier, even when his only tool was a mop. His environment changed, sure, but his internal drive, that was a constant from day one. He didn't just give great quotes to magazines, though. He took massive action. He built a real legacy of giving back. He donated computers to disadvantaged students, funded massive scholarships, and incredibly went back and fully renovated the exact same high school where he used to clean the floors. He used his success to make sure the next generation of focused learners actually had the tools they needed to chase their own dreams. Which brings us to this deeply emotional realization from Mrs. Linda, the principal of that very school. Walking through the newly renovated halls, she tells Michael, "You didn't just change your life, you changed thousands more." And that perfectly captures the sprawling impact of true success. It was never just about his bank account. It was about the countless lives elevated by his journey and his generosity.
So what does this all mean for us? Let's distill the core takeaways from this explainer that you can start using today. First up, every great success begins with humble work. Do not despise the bottom rung. Second, knowledge is hands down the greatest investment you can make in yourself. Third, stay honest and stay humble, because integrity opens doors that talent simply can't. And finally, never, ever stop learning. These are absolute game changers for your personal development.
Right as our story wraps up, we see Michael walking through that newly renovated high school hallway, holding a mop just for old time's sake. A young janitor stops him and asks the exact same question we started with today. Can someone like him really become successful? Michael just smiles and passes the torch, telling the young worker to never let their current job decide their future. Let only your determination decide it. And that brings us to the real question of this explainer. A thought I want to leave you with. Your beginning, it's only the first chapter of your story. It is not the whole book. So based on everything we covered today about mindset, integrity, and resilience,
What will your next chapter be? Really think about it. Take these lessons, apply them to your own life, and start writing that next chapter today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.